Welcome back to Grid Gym. Today we're talking about change. Rachel's here with me. It's Tuesday, just like always. Every week Rachel is here with me on Tuesday. Today, I gave her the option. I was making the coffee, and usually she makes the coffee, and I was like, hey, you want espresso or you want coffee? And she said coffee, and now she's all jealous, and I'm not giving her any.
How is that espresso? I don't get that.
It's espresso. It's like 4 shots of espresso, so I'm going to be like
what else?
Fucking wired, crazy wired. Milk.
Almond milk.
Almond milk, yeah, it's the only milk that was in there.
Mm.
What's that supposed to mean?
You didn't give me that option. You didn't say it was almond milk involved.
What'd you do with that? And we forgot the microphones again. Sorry, guys. Here you go. Falling up and under. If you guys weren't here yesterday, we did a discussion, a friendly discussion with Mike Boyle on the topic of Olympic lifting. I highly encourage going back and looking at that. Thing is a monster. It is really good for any general population person that is still doing Olympic lifting. You should send them that video. Can you clip me up? I can't see this thing. I'm not. Yeah, it'll be fine. But anybody that's in the general population that does Olympic lifting, has done Olympic lifting, or is in the lifting kind of curiosity space, or has done a lot of lifting in the past, I think that you're going to like that interview quite a bit. It was yesterday, so just scroll down from here and you'll see it. But that was with Mike Boyle. And what is today? Today is the 13th. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Excuse me, but we always do, yeah, it's here already. We always do a buy one, get one half off for your significant other at Grit Gym. So if you're thinking about getting your spouse on board with what you're doing at Grit Gym, or you've been thinking about joining Grit Gym, well, now is the time, because if you buy one training package, you get the other one half off, so that you guys can have a couples membership at Grit Gym, which is a very good deal. So if you've been thinking about doing something together with your spouse, which is what we talk a lot about on the show. Huh? Drew! But doing something like if you're going to do this relationship thing together, you might as well do, like, health is your number one priority in your resource in your life. You better do the health thing together too, because you're going to eat with this person. You're going to share your bed with this person. You're going to share your body with this person. You're going to share your life with this person. You're going to try to parent with this person. You're going to share your DNA with this person and another little being. I mean, there's a lot of responsibility there. I think that you should think about sharing your health with this person too. But today we're talking about change and this idea of constant change and the solo trip, and we're going to go back and forth and through a lot of these different things. But you want to introduce where you want to go with some of the notes that you had, because Rach actually, she prepped hard for this one.
No, I didn't.
Well, you prepped a lot more than I did.
Okay, well, I guess that's something.
But at the same time, I've been prepping for this for like
No, we had
long
a
time.
breakfast with one of our
mentors,
and this topic came up. Well, he was asking
what topic?
us
What's the topic?
About change is constant.
Change is constant. Yeah, is change constant? No, wait, what did he say? He said, why do people fear change?
Yeah.
And we were both kind of like, well, because they're scared of what they don't know. And he's like, well, that's the easy answer. And then, like, go further and further. And we started going further and further and brainstorming with this. And I was like, well, to me, yeah, it got pretty deep. And then it got pretty existential, especially when I started entering the conversation in my way. But to me, that's what I introduced. I was like, can you ever not change? Is change constant?
Yeah. Like that joke you always say.
What's that?
I always tell you I want to change.
Oh.
Like, I need to get changed.
That's a cheesy one.
But I like you how you are.
Yeah, that's originally this. So, I make this joke. Like, Rachel would say, I need to go change. Like, I need to go change my clothes. And I'd say, why? I like you just the way you are. And originally she was so like, oh, that's so cute. That'll never get old. And I was like, yes, it will. And I will make sure of it.
Yeah. It's the never-ending joke.
It's the never-ending joke. I do it every time.
Maybe I just need to change my
I don't do
wordage.
it every single time that you say it, but
well,
enough that you get sick of it.
I'm not sick of it. I just... It's hard to laugh every time.
Oh, ha, ha, Adam, you're so cute. But yeah, it's change constant. Your mom and I, remember that the social media post that I did? This is driving me crazy. I don't know what's going on here, but
wow.
There. But I made this post about like change and improvement and how we should like I was trying to make the case for like why we should all be seeking change. And she goes, "What if I like myself just the way I am?" And I thought about it for a long time, and I was like, well, yeah, that is the case, but I was like, how am I going to deliver this message? How am I going to try to get through? And I was like, well, I'm just going to say, well, can you ever not change? And then Wendy threw down some poetry on me, and in her own, she agreed that you can never not change, but
You guys both see it on the same level, pretty much, but it's like how you view it versus how she was viewing it.
I think we were trying to say the same thing.
Yeah. You can like who you are, that's perfectly fine, but you're always going to be changing and you have to get used to that.
You don't get the option of changing, so why be scared of it? So so the fear of change, what we were talking about was being present, being in the right here, right now. And that's when I brought up the, what was it? Eternity. Eternity is the summation of infinite nows.
Infinite nows. Okay.
And then I felt really proud of myself for a little while. I was like, What a great statement.
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah. But anyway, what do you have?
Well, okay, so I was thinking there's two types of people.
Okay.
Or two types of views on this.
What are the two
views? You can
views?
either fight change.
Okay.
Or you can face change.
Okay.
And a lot of the people that are fighting change are the people that are like the haters the blamers or not that I'm any certain person, like we all do this. It's all like an outlook on how you do it. Like,
okay, so
fighting the uncomfortable.
Is facing change like embracing change? Is that what you mean?
Facing it is embracing
Yeah,
it.
face it, like embracing change, so you like flow with the change.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're not just putting up a wall right when it happens.
And the fighters are the people that are putting up the wall.
So they're the ones that are going to fight against it, hate it, blame people, hide from it as well.
Get mad about it.
Get mad.
These darn kids.
So it's a distraction.
Yeah.
You're not fighting through it. You're just saying no to it.
Yeah,
and blaming everybody else for that.
You're fighting a constant. You're fighting at something that is going to happen, whether you like it or not.
It's going to happen.
Kind of like taking responsibility for your life at some point. Like, you can delay it when you're a teenager. You can delay it in your 20s. You can even delay it in your 30s. But at some point, it's going to smack you upside the face, and you're stuck with bills. You're stuck, like whatever it is. You get the responsibility of your life hitting you right in the face.
Yep.
Okay, so you've got face and you've got fight. And what about the people that are like the drivers, though? Like the people that are like, I'm going to create the change.
That's another one too, actually. Create the change. I don't know. I didn't think of that. I only thought of two. Well, I think you can kind of, in the moment, there's not two different types of people. I shouldn't have said it like that. There's two different ways to look at it. You're going to face it and go for it, or you're going to fight it.
Okay, so in the presence of, like, I didn't create the change has come to me. Now I can either fight that change or I can go with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So not two different types of people. But I mean, there are people like that will fight it all along the way.
Yeah, I think we all do on a certain extent. Like,
no
matter
we
how
all
much, training you do to get your mind to wrap around this idea that you just flow with the state of change. But ultimately, like, there's no state where you don't change. I mean, tomorrow you're going to be one day older. You're like, that's where growth happens. That's where all the good stuff happens. So, like, if you're really afraid of change, then are you saying that you're afraid of living? Are you afraid of the experience? Are you afraid of like just how things go? Or can you just cut it off and be like, I'm afraid?
Well, yeah, and it's kind of like a script of, am I going to be faced with this challenge or this uncomfortable feeling every single time, or am I going to face it and work through it and get better at working through it the next time?
That's the idea of being present, right? Is that you can be in the moment so much that you just are like, you are the change that is happening. Like, it is you. Not to
and
really spiritual and crazy.
I don't know. There's a couple different ways that you can deal with change, or like change happens. Like, you can kind of be forced into it, like being fired or something, like being fired.
Been there.
Or I don't know, like being in a car accident, like things that are out of your control, like that just happen, pop up. Or you can also use someone that helps you along, like a coach or a mentor or like a boss. They're going to force you to like get out of your comfort zone.
Are you saying like
and face change.
Are you saying the relationships that you have can be like a catalyst for change and helping you grow?
Yeah, they're going to help you grow.
Yeah.
Or you can be the one that starts the change.
And really, we all think that that's the easiest one. I think anyway, I tend to think that that's the easiest one when it's like, I'm going to be my own change. I'm going to be the driver.
But not everybody feels like that.
Okay, but still, like, that's what everybody
they
go back to themselves and they're like, it's got to be, and it does have to come down to you, but I will tell you, it is so, like, until I got a coach to challenge my mindset, and until I got a strength coach to challenge, like, how I was doing the lifting, and until I got a relationship coach, a business coach, until I got these coaches, until I got the people around me, until, like, we had conversations about, like, hey, when I do this, you have to call me out on it. When I'm not doing something that is up to, like, my ideals, you have to tell me.
Standards.
Because, like, I think it's the hardest to see yourself. Like, if you're going to try to drive your own change, it's going to be a lot easier if you have a lot of people around you to look at you and tell you what they think is going on.
Faced with, like, say being fired, not everybody would look at that as being, like, a good change. But it depends on how you approach it. A lot of people would say, well, I was faced with being fired. I, like, had a death in the family, blah, 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 blah. Like, a lot of people can look at that and say, yeah, they had a bunch of misfortunes and... I
don't think those are misfortunes, though. I don't look at them that way. Like,
exactly.
Like, I've been fired from every job that I've ever had. And I don't think... And someone the other night, I said that the other night, and someone was like, oh my gosh, like, they thought that was a really horrible thing. I was like, it was a great thing. It was best... There's a couple of the best things that ever happened to me.
It's not very... I mean, I'm not very surprised when you say that. If that's a better way to put it. I was going to say something else, but...
Why do you say that? No.
Not surprised.
No, I'm not either.
But...
I was, like, begging to be fired, though. I mean, from those two jobs.
Well, maybe you sabotaged them because you wanted change.
I do think that I did. I was just a terrible...
That's what I mean, like, being in the moment,
job,
like, some people would think that being fired is not a good thing.
This awful thing. Actually, I thought it was an awful thing.
But for you, being fired was a great thing because it allowed you to move to the next...
I think, like, most people, I don't know about for you, like, you can tell me your opinion after I say this, but for most people, I think that in hindsight, what?
I don't know.
In hindsight, that all the bad stuff that ever happened to them was a blessing in disguise. You know, the divorce or the breakup or the getting fired, being unemployed, being broke, the hardship, whatever it was such a blessing in disguise because of how much they had to grow from it and what they had to do what they got out of overcoming that thing.
Yeah, but okay, so if they were to give in to all that and be like, I'm going to be in a depression because I just lost my mother or father, or I just got fired. Think of what they haven't gained from that. You know what I mean? They are facing a challenge if they're fired and they're faced with all these misfortunes in their mind. If they're to give into that and be like, well, now I'm going to go into a depression and not work towards, like,
you mean
the next step.
They weren't going to, like, let it be a catalyst for growth.
Yeah, they were like this is the end of the end. They're waiting for something to maybe motivate them.
Well, that's never kind of like good luck. I mean, maybe it happens.
It can happen, but it's not very likely that.
But even if you do want to use,
or do you want to wait for that?
Motivate has to come from the word motive, and a motive would have to come like an internal.
I want some of that.
But that's mine.
I want some before you drink it all.
But it's mine. But I don't like the word motivate. But at the same time, if we're going to use the word motivate, like motivate would have to come from an inside thing. It would have to be an internal game. Like I can't motivate you. You can motivate you. I can try as best I can, but I can't get inside your head, which brings us to the solo trip stuff. And this is one of the, like, honest, like, not joking around, like, this is one of the hardest things. I have said this to many people. I have never had such backlash from one statement other than this one statement. I mean, people get mad at me. Some people start tearing up. Some people get, I mean, like, I remember saying this to one person in particular. I mean, I thought that stuff was going to get thrown across the room. But I said, life is a solo trip. And it was so threatening to something in this person. I don't know, but I've never, like, for instance, most people say that Rachel and I have decided to go through this life together. You've decided to go through your life with your husband or your wife or with your kids or with your family, whatever. You've committed to going through life with them, and it's not a solo trip. However, I've never been inside of Rachel's head. Rachel's never been inside of my head. You've never been inside of anybody else's head but your own, making it a solo trip. You are the only one that gets up here.
Your eyes are in your head, not my eyes are in your head.
Right, yeah. And, that's the reasoning behind it. But the delivery of, I apparently need to work on, because I've had some pretty detrimental experiences with making that statement. But it gets into this idea of being present. It gets into this idea of being responsible, and that change is constant and all these things. To accept that life is a solo trip.
Yeah, well, I don't think some of the people that you're probably saying that to have never heard anything to that extent, and it's kind of hard for them to just in that moment wrap their head around it and be like, instead of saying like it's an aha moment for them, it's like a wait. It's like,
well,
I don't agree with that.
Things that I think it's almost scary. Like,
you have to be very clear and explain.
If you accept and understand something new, you just went through a type of change, right? Your brain, your brain just had to choose to understand something new, right?
Yeah.
So I think that kind of gets into this idea of constant change. If you can accept constant change, then you can start to accept these new things that you might be able to, like, force yourself to understand.
Like being more open-minded.
Whether they're right or wrong. Yeah, kind of like being open-minded, maybe.
I think you have to be extremely open-minded to be accepting of change.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't think you can have one or the other.
Be closed-minded?
Be closed-minded and accept change.
Yeah, one sounds like the
They're kind of oxymorons. Oxymorons.
Like jumbo shrimp?
Yeah. And
we saw that on a sign today, jumbo shrimp, and I said I always laugh at that. Jumbo shrimp. It's like, how can you be jumbo and be a shrimp? Oh, really?
I'll let you have that.
Oh, really? Oh, thanks. That's nice of you.
You're welcome. Don't get used to it.
But, like, these all kind of circumvent each other, I think, a little bit. But what do you think of the idea of solo trip? What comes to mind when I talk about it, or when what? I'll let you know.
I think, regardless of who's in your life, you only have you at the end of the day. Like when you're going to sleep at night, you only have your own thoughts. You're not relying on the other person next to you to wind down from that day. And I mean, whether there's somebody holding your hand when you're dying, you're doing this yourself. This is how it ends.
Yeah.
And it can sound kind of morbid, and like people don't like the thought of being alone, because that's one of the biggest fears in life, is dying alone, or being alone, or loneliness.
Yeah.
Is what some people put that in.
That's
that
what we were talking about earlier,
of.
wasn't it? It wasn't necessarily being alone was the problem, but being lonely.
But
and part of the problem with being lonely is that you don't like the company.
Yeah, but there's a lot of power in being comfortable with being content with your own thoughts.
I think so too.
And being able to process things on your own way, instead of relying on other people to, I don't know, give you the attention that you crave.
What do you mean?
I don't know, like you going to your parents for every sort of like
solution
or advice.
I have a problem, I go to my parents. I can't pay my rent, I go to my parents. I get depressed, I go to my parents. I go to seeking relationships when you just really need to like take a moment for yourself after a breakup. Yeah, there's a
like the in between grieving period should be a real thing. It shouldn't just be like, okay, now I need to get someone else so I can. I don't think
anybody consciously thinks that, though. I think they
don't. But that's their comfort. That's their comfort. Their comfort is having a human being next to them, whether it's someone they like or not.
Yeah, and there's huge power in just spending massive amounts of time completely alone, not lonely, completely alone, just getting to know
alone.
You. Yeah, I know. It's
not all the time.
I do too. Not all the time, but
I like being around friends and having you, but at the same time, I love just like driving down the road by myself and just noticing everything and like taking it all in by myself. I don't have to like start a conversation or like fill in the void. It's just like, I get to experience this by myself and do it the way I want to. I get to drive wherever I want. I get to do whatever I want. It's fine. I'm not trying to please anyone. It's a solo trip. Solo car trip.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it should be perfectly fine to be in that space and that mindset.
Yeah, and there's something to be said for having other people around you to keep you accountable to the goals that you did set. Like, I want to grow as a person. There's something
like your coach or your mentor, or
your
your
coach,
boss
your mentor,
or
your partner, whatever it is.
What was that for? Or
I
you're
was
saying
like,
I agree, or like, shut up.
No, I was like you, like us. Like, that's one of the agreements that we have is that we're going to keep each other accountable to. It depends on what we're talking about, but like we're going to keep each other accountable to the dreams that we have. Like if one of us isn't living up to the standards that we set, we're gonna ask what's going on. You know, we have certain agreements, and it makes things a lot easier because I want to grow as a person. I want massive pressure on me. I want to apply as much accountability and as much pressure to me and as much challenge as I possibly can because I got big goals and big plans, and I want to accomplish them. I don't want to in my last breath and be like, well, I wish I would have done this.
Well, that never happened, or this never happened. And yeah. Especially when you work so hard at it, like you want to be able to see.
Well, I personally think that people work just as hard at not getting their dreams as they do at getting their dreams. Like the people who did get their dreams and accomplished everything that they set out to accomplish, I think they put just as much work into that as, and I'm speaking from personal experience, but also because like think of like the first like for me, entrepreneurship at the beginning and like opening Grit Gym and doing this stuff, it was 100% idealistic, but at the same time, like staying afloat was always this like. There's never enough money. There's never enough this. It's always so hard. I'm putting in, 12 to 16 hours of work for like 5 to 6 days a week, and I get nothing out of it except for the intrinsic. I love what I do, and at some point that starts to kind of wear down on you, And so for a long time for me, entrepreneurship felt like putting my face on the turf at the gym and walking to the other end.
Well, that's a constant change,
like just
also.
Insane pain. Where was I going with that? What was the question?
It's harder for some people.
Yeah. So like that's like so I wasn't doing the things necessary to what I wasn't doing. The pain of not. It wasn't the money. It was the pain of not fulfilling what I set out to accomplish. I wanted to help a lot of people, and I was not helping a lot of people because I was too scared shitless to go out there and talk to people. I was too scared to do stuff like this. And because of that turmoil, that I know I could do more. I know that I'm not living up to my abilities. I know that I'm not putting myself out there. I know that I'm not, that pain still was there. The pain of not being what I wanted to be was still there. And I guarantee you that the pain of hitting that button that we just pushed to get this thing going to talk to you guys, there's some pain attached to that. It is nothing compared to the first 5 years, and we're almost in our 8th year now. First 5-6 years, nothing compared to that. I mean, that was just the most miserable, awful pain. Anyway. That's what I mean. Like, I think people put.
But you're glad you did it.
Put your health into that scenario. If you're 100 pounds overweight, you're going to sacrifice time with your kids. You're going to sacrifice being able to play with those kids. You're going to sacrifice going to the beach with your family. You're going to sacrifice the walk from your car to your work is going to take so much energy. You're going to sacrifice how you feel on a daily basis. You're going to sacrifice every bite that you put in your mouth. You're going to feel guilty for. Every time that you go eat, you're going to be unhappy, so you're going to eat. And you're going to eat, so you're going to and you feel unhappy. It's this never-ending cycle. Awful, awful. That is just as much pain as it would be to get to the gym every single day and to fight every demon that you have.
It's a lot of little instant gratifications kind of add up to big regret.
Yeah, kind of. You're going to pay for it in regret, but you're also going to pay for it in the moment.
Okay.
So to me, I think, I can get along with people who say, I want to go with the flow. I think there's a time to do that. Like when we're at the end of the day when we're just sitting on the couch just hanging out with each other, spending time with each other. I just want to go with the flow of change. But when I'm at work, I want to be the driver. I want to push. Oh, was that scary? Sorry. I want to be the driver. I want to push. I don't. Watch out. Does that make sense?
Yep, it does.
Yeah.
I've heard it enough to make sense of it now.
Well, you make sense to them from what you've heard me say, because I think that I've probably said that a lot of times.
Wait, say it one more time, and then I'll condense it.
Like, I want to be the driver when I'm at work, and I want to be in the flow when I'm with you. Like when I'm in this very cooperative environment where, like, it's cooperative at the gym too, but I'm trying to push out and trying to do more and trying to accomplish more and trying to achieve.
Well,
when I'm with you, I'm not really trying to achieve.
At some point, you want to unplug and just kind of be present and go with the flow. You don't want to be like drive.
I'm still present when I'm driving.
I know, but like present, like take each other in for like what we're doing in the moment, not just like constantly pushing.
When I'm at work, I want to do. I want to do. I want to pound that
accomplish,
sucker. I want to
get stuff done.
Like if you're talking about social media, I want to beat the shit out of social media so hard. Like I don't like that idea of domination versus compete. I don't want to compete with any of my competitors. I want to bury them. I want them to be like, how does he do that? Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
And then when I'm with you, I want to be like so zen and nice and peaceful and
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you can't. I don't think at 100% of the time you can be like that. That's intense. Well, I couldn't do it.
I'm like it a lot.
I mean, I could try, but like at some point I would probably drive myself nuts. But you like it a lot. You like it a lot more than I do. I'm getting better at it.
I don't know. Like, if it's not, I'm not saying everybody should do that. I'm saying that
there's a time and a place for.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's a time and a place for that. You're not going to gain anything by.
Hey, we're back.
It worked.
I hope that you guys are back too. What were you saying there? Please say you remember. Oh no! We've done this like 3 times. Like Rachel had these like profound thoughts, and then I was like on the edge of my seat, like I really want to know. And she goes, "Oh my gosh, what were we talking about?" And I was like, "No, I wanted to hear what she had to say." But no, we were talking about driving versus flow, like just being.
We don't want to be driving and pounding the pavement when we're trying to relax at the end of the day and enjoy each other's company. I think it's not about pounding the pavement. It's about.
You're really good at that. Like this is an area where we are like direct opposites. Like you are so good about being in the moment and relaxing and taking your time, and I'm much better at just being like this crazy wild person. And so there's been like a learning process here, but it's a bit. Is that what I am?
Sometimes. Maybe that's how I feel sometimes
when you call me a rhinoceros.
I called you a rhinoceros?
Yeah, you say I sound like a rhinoceros. I'm like running around trying to get a lot of stuff done.
Oh yeah, you sound like an elephant when you're cleaning.
I want to get it done fast. I don't like to clean. I'm not going to take 2 hours to clean something that should take 5 minutes. I want to be done.
Oh God. There it is.
But yeah, I think that like constant change, life is a solo trip. These are concepts that are kind of hard for people to understand and think about. But like Rach said, they sound morbid. It sounds morbid to think that life is a solo trip, but it's freeing. Mm-hmm. To me, anyway, it's freeing. It's like the idea of death. Everybody thinks it's a morbid thing. I don't think it's a morbid thing. Like I think it would be really cool. I'm liking where I am right now, but the idea of death makes everything important to me that much more important. So like I almost think of dying every time that her and I hug. Dead serious. That sounds screwed up, right? Except that when that happens, I have like this insane amount of gratitude and this insane amount of love and this insane amount it just drowns me. It's like I can't even contain myself And I'm so happy to be right here and experience this. And someday it's because someday is going to be the last day that we see each other.
There are
and so
only
I want,
so many nows.
There are only so many nows that we get to experience together until there is like what I think happens when you die and you go back to the all, and then we're just the separation is gone, and we're just, and anyway, we'll get into that some other time when Adam feels really like dropping some hammers.
Come open-minded to that discussion.
Yeah, how many times Rachel sat back on that one and been like, oh my God, he's such a weirdo. But I think it's what happens when you're such a curious person and you start out rejecting Christianity and then fully becoming like a super Jesus freak and then going hardcore atheist and then waging a war again. Never mind, you guys are back. To elaborate what I was saying, the end of that was where I am now, which is on another scale from, so I'm not waging war on Christianity anymore, not super atheist, not super Christian, not any of those. I'm a whole new thing, and maybe all of them all at the same time. But anyway.
Nothing wrong with that.
Somebody that's super curious like me is going to go to places like that. But anyway.
Kind of have to.
You do the send-off. What do we do?
Well,
summarize.
Who said something up there?
Summarize. Teresa did. She said, also just phases of life, ... like kids leaving for college, gulp. Teresa has one kid left at home. And then he goes off to school.
That's a big change.
I would imagine that. The nice thing about, I've seen a lot of people go through, I've trained a lot of parents that, together, which brings up the couples membership again. If you want to do the couples membership at Grid Gym, this is a great time to do it because Valentine's Day, buy one, get one half off. But they go through, I've seen them go through, they have a couple kids at home, do they have one kid at home, and then that last kid leaves and go to college, and then it's like...
It's a big transition.
It's this weird thing.
I can imagine.
They get super giddy with each other. They get it's cute. It's like they're on their honeymoon again. They get they're almost grab-assy. They look at each other with this glow. It's like they haven't been in a relationship with 18 to 25 years or whatever it's been, and now all of a sudden they are again. They're acting like teenagers, and they have this empty nest.
See, that's a forced one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know what it's from, though.
You can't get away from it.
I think it's like they haven't had sex in 25 years, and now they're just they can just do it whenever they want.
No, I think it's just you kind of get to experience a relationship, like a normal relationship again.
On a different
level.
Besides,
sharing it with your kids.
Oh, yeah, instead of we're parenting, now we get to have a relationship again.
Yeah, we're parenting with a relationship.
I don't know what that's like, but I would think that'd be really difficult.
Yeah.
Definite change, for sure.
Yeah, you kind of have to figure out where you are after.
I'd imagine.
Because your identity has been mom, wife. Now it's just different.
Yeah, but I will say that I have never trained a couple that I saw where their kids left the nest and they didn't end up just being giddy for a year or two afterwards.
Really?
Yeah, super giddy. I know just wedding day giddy.
I thought that was kind of rare.
I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't really.
Yeah, maybe it's just the people that. Maybe it's just coincidence that those are the people that I've been working with at the time. But yeah,
that's kind of cool.
But yeah, I would imagine that for a parent, for their little kid to
leave the nest,
that'd be pretty tough. But anyway, you do the send off.
All right. How about you do it?
The reluctant. All right, you want me to do it?
Yeah.
All right, you can do it next time. Deal?
Okay, deal.
Okay. Thanks for being here, guys. Like for real. We don't have a canned send off thing. I was just putting her on the spot. I was being a jerk, but please click the share button, click the like button. The more those that Facebook sees that this page gets, the more it pushes out to everybody else. And if you think this is a good message that a lot of people should listen to or to hear, please click the share button because that's how this whole social media thing works, apparently. But anyway, thanks for being here, guys. Really appreciate it. Remember that it's if you want to get your spouse and you on an individualized training program that's tailored to your body and to your goals, come into Grit Gym, get your strategy session done. If you sign up tomorrow, we don't need to do the strategy session before you sign up, but we do need you to sign up tomorrow to be able to get the buy one, get one half off deal. And it's only for couples. You have to be a couple. I don't care if that's your best bud, your partner, your significant other, your spouse, your husband, your wife, whatever it is. I don't care, but you do have to be a couple. So anyway, like, share, comment. Thanks for being here.
A couple or a couple?
A couple.
Okay.